Hi, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. In this video, I'll be giving you guys sort of an introduction to file handling and java.io. So if you're interested in that, this can be a good kind of starting point to jump off of. So let's start talking. Basically, java.io deals with inputs and outputs in Java. So that's what the IO stands for. And this can be more than just files. Files are one of the types of inputs and outputs that java.io deals with, but there are also other things that it deals with, just all of the inputs and outputs that are in Java. Files can be used as inputs and outputs. You can take in files and use the data in them. You can have directories and get all the file names in them, and basically you can use the data from these files and directories and manipulate them, print them out, whatever you want to do with them. And then also you can output these files. You can create your own files and write and do whatever you want with that, with the data that you've accumulated through your code or whatever you want to do. You can input the files and output files as well. So this is what java.io deals with. And one of the things that you actually need when you are dealing with files is this file path. And you can see this is here. So, one second. Actually, first you would need to import java.io. And I just put the little asterisk here. That means I want everything in java.io. And I'll be using this file. And I make an object of the file class. And then what I need to put here is the file path in a string. And basically what this is it's the path of the file, basically how to get to that file in your computer. And one of the ways to get to this is the terminal. So for my machine, I have a Mac. So this has a Unix operating system. So there are certain commands that you can use with the terminal since it's communicating directly with the operating system. That might not be the same commands that you would use on other machines or other operating systems. So this would be for a Unix operating system, just to keep in mind. So one of the ways that you can get this file path is through the terminal. We can go there. Let's move me to the other side actually. And okay, so some of the commands that I'm going to teach you right now. One of them is pwd, and this is basically just getting where you are currently. I'm in hello world/src right now. So if I want to see everything that is in src, and right now I'm in the Eclipse workspace, you can see that here. I'm in Eclipse workspace, hello world, src. So if I want to see where I am, I would type ls-lrt, and that is basically giving me everything that is in this directory. Since src is a directory, it's kind of a collection of files. It's basically like a storage system. And this -lrt is basically going to give me the format that I want. It's basically just a formatting thing. And I can see everything that is in this directory. So if I want to go to loops, I would say cd, and then loop, and then if I tab, it'll just give that to me since that's the only one with LO, and it'll autofill that for me. So I do that. You can continue doing this, keep narrowing it down until you get to the file that you want to use. So once you get there, to the file that you want to use using these commands in the terminal, there are other ways to get to the file path. But this is the one that I use here, Eclipse. So that's what I do to get this path. So here, I just went to the overall general src. You can make an array, and file.list basically gives you an array of strings naming all of the files and directories in this directory, but in this directory that is by this path. And I can print all of those out, and you can see that printed all of these directories/files here. You can also use some of the methods in this file class. I'm making an array here, and this array only takes ones that end with S, so I can have that. That's just using some of the, that's just one of the things that you can do there. And then I print that out, and you can see that all of these are ending with S. And then you can check if a file from the certain path exists. You can check if it has read and write permission, which basically means, can you open this file? Is it able to be opened? And also write means, is it able to be modified? So if you have permission to open and modify it, you can get that, and that might be very relevant if you want to know if you can access that. I can see that this path exists. This is able to be read and modified. So those are some of the things that you can do with inputting files. And then outputting, there's something called file writer. That is another class in the java.io, and basically what that does is you can kind of write files and output files like that using that class. So you can take in files using this file class, and then file writer, you can output those files. And so that's how you can kind of use files in java.io and use them as inputs and outputs. This is just a very broad kind of introduction to files and file handling in Java, and hopefully it was useful for you, for your purposes and whatever you need to learn. Hopefully you explore this on your own. I greatly encourage you to explore this on your own and figure this out and go more in detail, figure out what methods you can use with this file class and the file writer class. Write your own files, input, output, whatever you need to do in order to get some experience and get that down. So hopefully you learned from this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you feel like it. And I would appreciate it if you would comment on the video, any feedback, questions, anything really. And I will see you guys again next week. I upload every single Monday, and I will see you then. Bye!